Welcome to American Black Journal. I'm Stephen Henderson. At the age of 14, my first guest was wrongfully convicted of murdering 4 people, and he spent nearly 9 years in prison. He was freed this summer after a jailed hitman confessed to the killings, and the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office agreed that the charges should be dismissed. The case has brought to light a lot of deficiencies in the criminal justice system. Joining me now is Davontae Sanford, along with civil rights attorney Bill Goodman. Thank you both for being here. Yeah, Davontae, I want to start with you. We were talking before. You don't just feel wronged by what happened to you, but you have a lot of thoughts about what has happened afterward and the things that have not been addressed to try to make sure it doesn't happen to someone else.
Yeah, of course. I don't think that, the community, like the citizens of Detroit, should be like apologizing and try to like correct the wrong that was made at the hands of like others. I went to prison because of Ken Worthy and the Detroit Police Department. I didn't go to prison because of like this regular citizen, in a city. Every time they see me, like I always get like, I'm sorry for what happened. I'm sorry. Yeah, they apologize. I'm receiving sorries from people who did nothing wrong to me whatsoever. Like I haven't received anything from the people that actually like played the role in my incarceration. And it's sad, it's hurtful, that after 8 years of going through everything I've been through, now to get out, it's like, okay, well, just going about your business. Like, hold on, wait, stop. Like something happened. A 14-year-old went to prison for a crime he didn't commit. So how can you just like let me out like nothing happened when it did? Like, I think like though this whole situation like really like need to be addressed. Yeah. What happened?
And what you want them to address is what goes on in the police department.
Of course.
And with some specific people.
Of course. Sergeant Russell, how can people feel comfortable enough to have confidence in this man to continuously to investigate homicides when like on my homicide, like he played a role in sending me to prison. He played a huge role in sending me to prison. Like he was the one who interviewed me. So it's like, okay, like if he was willing to sit by and like let Tolbert like lie on me and just like make things up, like how many other cases he didn't like sat by and just like let things happen? Like Sergeant Russell, like this wasn't Sergeant Russell first time or where like eyebrows was raised in cases like he didn't work on where like evidence wasn't there, and people just like continuously like to let him go on.
You feel like they have not done enough to make sure?
No, not at all. I mean, the chief of police, he always talk about, he's different and he's trying to set examples to let people know like he's for the people. You got an opportunity right now.
Right.
Like you have an opportunity right now.
Send a message.
Send a message. Send a message. Like, I mean, like I could have been his son. I could have been his nephew, like send a message. I did 8 years almost, like I'm 23.
I want you to tell the viewers about what that was like, that 8 years you spent.
It was hard.
In prison.
It was hard. It was rough. I mean, like, it drains you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, it was days I thought like I would never get out of prison. It was days I thought like I would never get out of prison. I mean, like I went through like so many different things. I mean, like having like my guards rip my mail up, like spitting my food, like coming in my cell, taking my mattress. I'm having like to go days at a time laying on the floor, without blankets, without covers, turning my water off. I'm not like allowed to like drink water. I mean, like I went through like so much, and it's like, okay, after I went through what I went through, I thought I was gonna come home and it was gonna be different, and it's not. Like I'm still like having a hard time struggling and trying to like adjust, and it's hard for me to go and ask people like, look, I need somebody to talk to and things like that. But the simple fact is like when I do that, like I don't feel normal, and like I'm trying my best to feel like as normal as possible right now, but like.
But you lost 8 years of your life. You can't get that back.
No, I can't.
So what do you find yourself doing now?
struggling. He's struggling with trying to understand and maneuver around like this world I've been like gone for so long. You know, like I went in a kid, I came out like a grown man. You know, so it's like trying to work, you know, responsibilities, bills, things like that, like a whole lot, like like registering to vote and stuff like it's a whole lot, you know, and I just feel as
And
if
do you feel like there's any help for you to?
I mean, yeah, of course. I've been receiving like a lot of different help from a lot of different organizations, like a lot of different people. Like I have a mentor who meet with me like as much as often, you know. I mean, like I done went out, I done spoke at colleges, I done spoke at high schools, I done spoke at middle schools, and things like that. But at the end of the day, like something happened that shouldn't happen, and I think like something need to be done about it. I went to prison for a crime I didn't commit, and I think like I think, you know, people, like the prosecutor job is to protect people, you know, to protect the vulnerable and things like that. And I believe in like in November, like she will be receiving like a reward for protecting victims and victims' rights. Okay, I went to prison for a crime I didn't commit. I did 8
You're
years.
a victim.
Like I'm a victim. Like stand up, like and fight for me. Like I am like a victim, regardless of how you feel about what happened in my case, who lied, who did what. Like something went wrong, so you should try to figure out what went wrong so it won't happen again. Like, cause time and time again, we always hear when cases come out when it was either DNA or it was either alibi that come out that somebody was wrongfully convicted. And time again, we hear, oh, this was never happening again. We taking proper measures for this and that happening, and it continues to happen.
Yeah. Mr. Goodman, you have spent a long time, really your entire professional life, dealing with these kinds of issues.
I have.
Not just here in Detroit, but all over the country.
Yes, we've talked about it.
This case is, however, just it seems a much more garish example.
Garish is a good word. Startling,
yeah.
shocking, revolting.
Yeah.
Those are all words.
I mean,
you can
even
use.
with all the things that you've seen, this has to rankle.
It grabs me right by the throat,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's outrageous. Here it is. You said that Davontae was released from prison after someone else confessed to the crimes.
Right.
Actually, the person who confessed to the crimes, Vincent Smothers, confessed before he was prosecuted, and they suppressed that confession. They knew that they had the wrong guy, and they knew they had the right guy. But they thought, why don't we just get 2 instead of 1? And we've already got him. We're not going to look like fools. Let's go with him. Yeah. And how outrageous can it get? And they suppressed that confession. Yeah. They never prosecuted Smothers for that crime. It took Smothers to stand up, the killer to stand up above stand much taller than the police and the prosecutor about what happened here. So.
And let's,
yes.
for the viewers, go through. He was talking about Sergeant Russell and Tolbert. Talk about the roles that the various people here played in this.
These people were investigating a murder that happened, and they happened to come across Davontae walking around on the street, snatched him up basically and started to interrogate him and pressure him and muscle a 14-year-old kid, telling him you'll go home as soon as you tell us what we want to hear, telling him what they wanted to hear, actually showing him photographs of the bodies in the house, drawing a diagram and saying, now, draw a body here, draw a body there, draw a body here, and then say, then sign this confession that you did it, and we'll send you home. And that was it. Yeah. He never got
and
home.
A 14-year-old in that situation really is not equipped to push back.
A 14-year-old in the presence of police officers is the most frightened, malleable, suggestible kind of person you can find in this situation, and they took total advantage of that, and then lied about it. Tolbert literally lied about it.
He was the deputy.
And that's right. He said Davontae drew this. Davontae drew all of this, and that was a lie. And then the Wayne County prosecutor, Kim Worthy, who Davontae spoke about, refused to prosecute him for perjury. So.
we've seen in Detroit these problems lead to federal intervention. I mean, the department was under a federal consent decree for a long time to deal with exactly these kinds of problems. I think everyone agrees that it changed under that federal supervision.
I think it did change,
but we still have issues.
But that consent judgment arose from a situation where they were sequestering witnesses and basically muscling witnesses from the very kind of thing that happened to Davontae Sanford. Mm-hmm. Yep.
The lawsuit that you've filed against the police department.
Not yet. It's coming.
Right.
I'm not gonna. It's coming.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, that's one way to remedy this. But the other way is to, as Davontae says, talk about what to do internally in the police department.
There has to be some internal recognition, not only of the injustice of what happened to Davontae Sanford. Go ahead, Davontae.
I think it need to be accountability, like all the way around the board. You know, like you go out, you catch a bad guy. You know, you're catching that bad guy. In order for him to take responsibility for his actions, and you hold him accountable for his actions, whether he was selling drugs or carrying a gun he shouldn't have. I mean, like, I think the same should go for law enforcement, like, regardless of what. If you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're right, you know? And, like, a lot of people be asking me, like, do you hate the police and stuff like that for what they did to you? I mean, like, sometimes, like, I do get nervous, like, around, like, law enforcement. Like, a lot of times, like, I do get very, very nervous and things like that. But, like, how can I be nervous? Because, like, even though, like, it was, like, cops that lied and just, like, purging them, Tolbert lied. I mean, it was other cops that stood up for me and got me out of prison. Like, the Michigan State Police are the cops that got me out of prison. So, like, I can never hate cops, and that let me know, like, that there is good cops out there, you know, but I just think, like, it need to be accountability. I don't care, like, if you have 100 badges, you know, if you do something wrong, you should pay for that, period.
There should be consequences.
Yeah.
Has the chief reached out to you in any way to say?
Not at all. No, not at all.
No.
I mean, I would have liked to talk to him to try to figure out, like, what was going on with Sergeant Russell. I mean, like, if you're the chief of police, and you know one of your officers was involved in sending a 14-year-old to prison for a crime he didn't commit, and he's still investigating cases, and he played a part in that, like, how would you feel? Wouldn't you want that, like, investigated and looked into, like, so something like that couldn't happen again, you know? I would ask him that, you know? No, he hasn't.
What do you see for yourself in the future?
Just doing something like I've never been able to do, you know.
You
when I
lost
was
a lot of
14,
time,
15,
right.
I was never able to live life. So like that's what I try to do every day. Like I went to my first football game. It was the University of Michigan. It was like amazing, you know, like it was so amazing. Doing a little bit like traveling. I'm working. I'm just trying to like put my life back together. I have been doing like different mentorships where I go out to different like little middle schools and high schools, talk, you know, speak about my experiences in prison, and just
trying to win it all back.
Just and cause awareness to the justice system when it comes to dealing with juveniles. Period. Whether it was me going to prison for a crime I didn't commit, receiving 39 years in an adult facility in prison, or whether it's a teenager that's 14, 15 receiving like a life sentence, you know? I know what it's like in prison, you know, like, and like, I don't want other people like experiencing the things like I went through. I had to go through, I was paying for somebody else's crimes. 8 years was taken away from me from somebody else's mistakes and wrongdoings. So like, I know what it's like. So like, I always try to go and talk to kids and let kids know like your actions don't also affect you, but they affect everybody else around you, whether you know it or not. Tolbert and Sergeant Russell, their actions. They like them lying and telling me draw bodies here. Their actions, and it also affected them. It affected everybody else around them. It affected my mother, my friends, my family. You know, like it affected so many different people. So like I always try to like explain that to kids. Like, you know, just think about the decisions and choices you make.
And
you know?
what will happen.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you both. for being here. And Davontae, I have to say, for someone who has had so much taken from him, your spirit and your resilience is really, really impressive.
Inspirational.
Inspirational, right? Thank you. Better word.
I don't have another choice but to try my best, be happy. You know, I'm home. You know, I mean, it took 8 years, but 8 years is better than 39 years in my book. So,
okay, good luck to you, and good luck to you.
Thank you, Stephen.
Getting more justice out of the justice system.
Thank you very much.